Good for you. Fry an egg for me. It's time for bed. She cooks for him. I answered for him. He asked for a beer. He works for a bank. It'll rain for sure. She called for help. Thank you for today. This isn't for sale. I don't care for him. It's all over for us. It's time for dinner. Thank you for coming. This will do for now. Be quiet for a moment. I am no match for him. I don't care for eggs. I don't care for wine. I made a doll for Anne. She asked for my help. She screamed for help. This room is for rent. This room is for VIPs. Don't ask me for money. Don't be late for work. I asked her for a date. I studied for 1 hour. I'm looking for my key. It's time for us to go. She applied for a visa. She is cooking for him. Tom held a seat for me. I don't care for coffee. I'm looking for a house. That's enough for today. Tom applied for the job. Tom was late for dinner. We gave him up for dead. Grandpa bought it for me. He looks old for his age. I waited for 10 minutes. I'm sorry for being late. It's for my personal use. We felt sympathy for her. What will you use it for? You can ask Tom for help. Can you mail these for me? Gasoline is used for fuel. He was in time for school. I have a surprise for you. I have to look for my pen. I was at a loss for words. I'm going out for a while. I'm looking for a sweater. She has an eye for beauty. She met him for breakfast. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for your letter. Tom asked for more coffee. Are you ready for the trip? Do you charge for delivery? He did well for a beginner. He has an eye for antiques. He let me stay for a night. I am just going for a walk. I asked for their approval. I bought it for $10. I turned to him for advice. I'll call for you at 3. I'll play a sonata for you. I'm dying for a cold drink. I'm saving money for a car. It's about time for dinner. Now is the time for action. She bought a shirt for him. She waited for him to call. Should I wait for you here? Stay here and wait for him. What are you lining up for? Where do I pay for the gas? Could you draw a map for me? Don't be late for the train. He can pull strings for you. He has been sick for a week. How do you account for that? How long do you want it for? I am dying for a cold drink. I bought it for $10. I haven't seen you for ages. I mistook him for Mr. Brown. I need to search for my pen. I thanked Mary for her help. I'll act as a guide for you. I'll buy a watch for my son. Is the job too much for you? My son is small for his age. Please prepare for the trip. She cooks for him every day. She made a new suit for him. Thanks for bringing me here. Thanks for your explanation. Tom thanked me for the gift. We will do anything for you. When is a good time for you? He exchanged in for dollars. He gave it to me for nothing. He was late for the 7:30 bus. I got the ticket for nothing. I lived abroad for 10 years. It's necessary for you to go. She asked him for some money. She thanked him for his help. She waited for him for hours. The train didn't wait for me. This chair is too low for me. Would you join me for a walk? 11 o'clock is good for me. He asked his friends for help. He was looking for a good job. I admire you for your courage. I hear he is looking for work. I talked with her for an hour. I went for a walk in the park. I went for a walk with my son. I'm dying for a cup of coffee. Let's take a break for coffee. May I go out for a short walk? May I take a rest for a while? She isn't good enough for him. She married him for his money. She stayed there for a moment. Thank you for the information. Thank you for your invitation. The desk is too small for Meg. They waited for him for hours. This work is difficult for us. Tom has an eye for modern art. We must make up for a lost time. What do you learn English for? Will you help me for a minute? Would you do something for me? Are you for or against my plan? Are you prepared for the worst? He came to ask us for our help. He lived abroad for many years. I lived overseas for 10 years. I think it's time for me to go. I was told to wait for a while. I'd like to stay for one night. I'm still waiting for my order. I'm used to cooking for myself. Is this the bus for Park Ridge? Now he has nothing to live for. Please wait around for a while. She bought a toy for her child. She scolded him for being late. She took him for all his money. She was in the mood for a walk. Thanks for coming over tonight. That desk is too small for Meg. Tom was singled out for praise. We made pancakes for breakfast. What did you eat for breakfast? What did you get for Christmas? What do you need the money for? What do you want for breakfast? Would you care for more coffee? An expert was called for advice. Are you for or against his idea? Children often ask me for money. Do you have any messages for me? Do you have anything for a cold? Do you have change for $1? Fred often comes late for class. Has he lived here for 2 years? He is about to leave for London. He is unpopular for some reason. He left for New York a week ago. He likes to cook for his family. I go for a walk every other day. I paid 2,000 yen for this atlas. I'll be staying here for a week. I'm busy preparing for the trip. I'm leaving for Canada tomorrow. I'm leaving town for a few days. I'm saving money for my old age. It's no use asking him for help. My mother made a sweater for me. She dumped him for a richer man. She listened to music for hours. She praised him for his honesty. She prayed for her son's return. She sang a Japanese song for us. She translated it word for word. She waited for him to come home. Thank you for coming to meet me. The old man begged me for money. The road is too narrow for cars.